Hello guys and welcome back to Game of Box Office. Today's video will be a prediction about the possible box office run of Kong Skull Island. Let's begin to talk about the points who work in favor for a good box office performance of Kong Skull Island. First of all, I want to name the stellar cast. Tom Hiddleston, Brie Larson, Samuel L. Jackson and John Goodman all play a big role in this new adaptation of the King Kong topic, and all of them will help to push the box office of Skull Island a little bit higher. Tom Hiddleston will help with that probably the most, since he's really just very liked all over the planet right now. The second thing I want to name is the competition. One weekend before Kong Skull Island hits cinemas, there is an untitled Wolverine movie to hit cinemas. Although Wolverine is a very successful franchise of standalone movies, the last two Wolverine movies have never accomplished to battle other movies in their performances or even hurt them. So it's pretty safe to say that Wolverine will not affect Kong Skull Island in a negative way. On the weekend when Kong is being released, there is no other big movie to hit cinemas. It will be a weekend where the movie can play totally on its own, no competition from anyone. On the second weekend there's just Beauty and the Beast to be released when it comes to big movies, but this one hits a totally different audience, so it will also not affect Skull Island. On the third weekend, Kong has to face King Arthur Legend of the Sword. While most people will probably say that this will be the first real competition for Kong, I have to hardly disagree. Yes, when it comes to the size and the audience it aims on, King Arthur could probably hurt Kong Skull Island. But since King Arthur is distributed by Warner Brothers and Kong Skull Island is also distributed by Warner Brothers, it's highly unlikely that it will hurt Kong. Warner Brothers will never distribute two movies which will kill each other off, so for the first 3 weeks, Kong Skull Island is totally alone and can play well on its own. Until Ghost in the Shell gets released on the 4th weekend and will probably hurt Kong a bit. But when this happens, it's already not so important anymore. The next thing I want to name is the importance that Kong Skull Island has to the Godzilla Kong monster franchise that Legendary Pictures wants to build. For those people who don't know what I'm talking about, after Godzilla in 2014 grossed quite some money with over $520 million worldwide, although the movie wasn't received very well and could easily have grossed $700 million plus when everything would have worked perfectly, Legendary thought about building a franchise around this movie, and Kong Skull Island is basically the second installment out of this movie series, which will peak in a Godzilla King Kong movie sometimes in the future. The 2014 Godzilla remake has shown that this pick has a huge amount of box office might, and that when the production company are handling this topic the right way, it could lead to a big box office surprise hit in the future. Legendary Pictures is probably well aware of the fact that when they do everything right, they have a money making machine for the future in their hands, so they will take care of the quality by 100%. The last positive thing I want to name is the reaction towards the trailer, which was released a bit over a month ago. The view count as well as the like-dislike ratio is phenomenal, and it shows that people are really looking forward to this movie. All signs are showing in the direction of great success for Legendary and Warner Brothers. Now to the aspects who work not in favor for the movie. The monster genre is always something where you never know what you get out of it. There were totally unexpected box office bombs in the past and totally unexpected box office hits in the past when it comes to this genre. With a budget of $190 million, Kong Skull Island is on par with Pacific Rim, the second most expensive monster movie of all time, just behind Peter Jackson's King Kong, which cost $207 million back in the days. With that, Legendary is taking a few big risks since the movie has to gross something about $530 million worldwide to even kill its spendings, more than Godzilla from 2014, since the budget on that was $30 million less. Happily for Kong Skull Island, this was already it when it comes to the aspects who work not in favor for a good box office performance of the movie. As always, I will now fade in all aspects I just counted, and I will now start with the pessimistic prediction on Kong Skull Island. When the quality of Kong Skull Island is bad, and with that I mean worse ratings than what Godzilla from 2014 received, the movie will start huge and fall very fast. In this scenario, I see Kong Skull Island to open with $75 million, which will lead to a $165 million domestic total after a horrible 2.2 multiplier. On top of that, Skull Island will earn a total of $300 million overseas for a combined worldwide total of $465 million. This amount of money will be not enough for the movie to break even with its overall costs, and since Legendary wants to build a profitable franchise on this movie, it would really hurt the production company. When we take a realistic approach on Kong Skull Island's performance and put the quality of the movie about on par with the quality of Godzilla from 2014, I can see the grosses to increase. In this scenario, Kong will open with about $90 million, just slightly under the opening weekend of Godzilla from 2014. After a 2.35 multiplier, the movie will finish with $211.5 million in the domestic market, just slightly outgrossing Godzilla and with that taking the domestic box office crown from this very new and fresh franchise. On the overseas front, Kong will destroy in some small markets and with that will gross a total of $400 million, which will make up for $611.5 million worldwide total. While this number is a good step away from being a huge success for Warner and Legendary, this number is already solid and they would earn a slight amount of money with this gross. When Kong Skull Island is really close to a perfect movie though and the reviews are going through the roof, I can see Kong to come very close to $800 million worldwide. In this scenario I see an opening weekend of $100 million, which will lead to a $280 million domestic total after a 2.8 multiplier. The movie will perform great in China and with that will earn a massive $490 million on the overseas front. Combined, this would put Kong Skull Island at a worldwide total of $770 million, probably the number that the studio bosses wished to accomplish with Godzilla from 2014. Legendary would be happy, Warner would be happy, and the ground for a huge Godzilla vs Kong movie would be there. When this scenario becomes reality, we can all hope for a great new monster franchise. The next video will be a prediction about King Arthur, Inferno or Arrival. Thank you so much for watching this video guys, I really hope you liked it. If so, be sure to check out these other 3 predictions that I link you on the left side, right side and bottom of the screen. Also, when you like what I do here on YouTube, be sure to hit a like and subscribe to my channel. See you soon, bye bye.